Loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
We've all heard about antibiotics, but what about probiotics? Antibiotic means against life. Probiotic means pro-life. Antibiotics kill bacteria that are infectious and harmful to the body. They also kill the good bacteria, though, that are necessary for good health. Probiotics from living streams replaces the healthy balance of friendly bacteria and normalizes the digestive tract. Gastritis, ulcers, diarrheal diseases, just a few of the problems people develop when the intestinal flora is out of balance. Living Stream's probiotics create the healthy balance needed for good digestion, suppresses growth of pathogenic bacteria, and actually increases resistance to infection. Call the Power Hour, 877-817-9829. Order your Living Stream probiotics today. They're available in 2, 4, and 8-ounce bottles, and Living Stream's probiotics comes with a money-back guarantee. Get your body back in balance with Living Stream's probiotics today. 877-817-9829. That's 877-817-9829. Living Stream's probiotics. Everyone should be pro-life.
Identity theft is real. So real, it could be making you its next victim right now. At the gas pump, bank, or store where you shop with your credit card, bad guys with RFID scanners can peer into your wallet or purse from a short distance away, stealing information from your RFID-enabled credit or debit cards, passports, room keys, and ID cards without you even knowing it. Stop the bad guys now with an RFID blocking wallet from ID Stronghold. ID Stronghold founded the entire RFID blocking industry over 10 years ago. Their stylish sleeves, clutch purses, and wallets are shielded throughout. The best you can buy at great pricing, as low as $14.99. Don't wait until your wallet needs replacing. Protect your identity now. Click idstronghold.com or call 1-800-610-2770. That's 1-800-610-2770. ID Stronghold, the original RFID wallet company.
Welcome back to the Power Hour. This is Joyce Riley, and if you're listening to us today live, it is the 22nd of July, and the stock market is set to open in the red today. Gold was down to $10.92 earlier. Oh, wow. Let me go to Dan in New Jersey. He has something to say regarding GMO labeling today. There is a big issue with GMO labeling. Go ahead, Dan. Tell me what's happening.
Yeah, very, very quickly. In the House of Representatives tomorrow, the Monsanto Profit Protection Act, H.R. 1599, is scheduled for a vote. This bill will overrule Vermont's GMO labeling law and also make it illegal to label a product as being free of GMOs. Call the House of Representatives and pray.
And you really think, I think the prayer might work. I don't know the calling of the House of Representatives will work. Do you really think that it'll have an impact? Do you actually think it makes a difference if people call, Dan?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I think it calls. It was on Coast to Coast AM last night, and if they get flooded with calls, they might back down.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that very much. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, heads up. Tomorrow the vote will take place, H.R. 1599. If you agree, disagree, whatever your position is, I can't imagine why anybody would want non-labeling of food, and especially not allowing us to know if there's GMOs in the food. The amount of statin drugs that are being prescribed now are going up just exponentially. What they do is they say every few years, well, we think your cholesterol level ought to be, ABC. And then a few years later, well, we think it should be lower than that. And so that opens up all the new eligible people under the guidelines to get statin drugs, which of course they like, Big Pharma likes. And as reported in the Journal of the AMA, over 2,400 people, 39% were statin eligible. Of any 2,400 people, 39% were statin eligible, compared with 14% in the 2004 guidelines. Now, it's not surprising given the amount of revenue that they make off of statin drug sales. And of course, you recall there are a number of side effects with statin drugs, one being amnesia. We had an astronaut physician who was on the program who was hit with this amnesia twice, secondary to statin drugs. But you don't hear about that on CNN because this is the news on this hour that CNN seems to lose. And health officials kill a proposal to curb mercury dental fillings. McClatchy's reporting senior U.S. health officials have squelched this Food and Drug Administration proposal that for the first time would have curbed dentist use of mercury, one of the planet's nastiest toxins, because it attacks the central nervous system. In treating Americans' decayed teeth, the proposal, approved by top FDA officials in late 2011 and kept secret since it would have told dentists that they could not use mercury fillings in cavities, in pregnant women, nursing moms, children under 6, and people with mercury allergies, kidney disease, or neurological problems. It also urged dentists to avoid using fillings that contain mercury compounds in any patient. Well, that didn't happen. And unfortunately, the people in charge, do not look out for those of us that are we the people. So let me just remind you that if you're living in the San Francisco Bay Area, you may want to be concerned about what is about to take place, the 4.0 magnitude earthquake that they are predicting. The fault that produced the 4.0 magnitude, earthquake in Fremont on early Tuesday morning is going to predict they are predicting another major quake after that. Check out the video of Rand Paul taking a chainsaw to the 70,000-page U.S. tax code. And then he took a chainsaw to it. He, wood chipper, he said he wants to kill the tax code. We'll be back after this 1 minute, 10-second break. Norbert Hauser will be joining us. Stay tuned to the Power Hour. This is Joyce Riley.
What have I learned so far? I've learned that there is no one path right for everyone. I've learned that without my high school diploma, I can only do so much. My options were limited. I found a free personalized learning program with Learn for Life that has a flexible schedule so I could keep my job while earning my high school diploma. I found new career training opportunities that would jumpstart my future. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I can change my life.
Are you 14 to 19 years old and looking for a free high school diploma program with flexible meeting times? This program allows you to keep your job or important family responsibilities while earning your high school diploma. If you've fallen behind on credits or dropped out of school completely, get back on track with free tutoring, a caring faculty, and one-on-one attention. For more information on how to reach your graduation goal, visit learnforlife.org. That's LEARN4LIFE.org.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of buysellmakeoffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
Good morning. I'm Chuck Kamlick, CNBC Radio. In the battle between high-tech and low or no-tech, the non-tech giants are winning the hearts and minds and wallets of Wall Street today. Boeing delivered more commercial jets. Coke sold more soda for the first time in a long time. Profits soared at both. Apple's profits rose, but less than hoped for. Microsoft lost money and worries that slow computer sales will hurt future Windows business. Both stocks will fall. St. Jude Medical is buying rival Thoratec for more than $3 billion. This deal will add extra heart devices, especially for heart failure, to St. Jude's current lineup of heart products. BlackBerry is buying AtHoc, a company that provides secure crisis communications on networks. More software products for BlackBerry to sell to help offset its falling phone business. And all the news that's fit to drink. Starbucks has signed a deal with the New York Times to let coffee reward members see Times stories for free on that Starbucks mobile app. Chuck Kamlick, CNBC Radio.
Overturned truck blocking the carpool lane, freeway construction slowing everything down. I travel for work. News like that used to ruin my whole day until I discovered Citrix GoToMeeting. With GoToMeeting, I can meet from anywhere using my computer, tablet, or smartphone. And with HD video, I simply turn on my webcam and it's like being in the same room, which means I can stay productive no matter how bad the traffic gets.
Visit GoToMeeting.com and start our free 30-day trial. That's GoToMeeting.com.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH+. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station, where your business comes first.
Good morning. It's 6:02. I'm Bill Schwartz with your traffic and weather. Partly cloudy skies today. A lot of drizzle across the Southland. Kind of like a sauna out there. Temperatures between the 70s and 80s. LA and Orange County, they're going to see temps in the upper 70s. Valley and IE areas in the mid-80s. Beaches are going to see the 70s. Currently, it's already 73, feeling like 76 at KCAA. Looking at your morning drive in Coachella, still got that road collapse, actually a bridge collapse. That's I-10, both eastbound and westbound. That's east of Highway 62 and 29 Palms Highway. In Chino, we've got an accident blocking the shoulder. That's on the 60 eastbound before Central Avenue. And in Corona, we've got an accident on the shoulder. That's blocking the shoulder. That's on the 91 westbound and Lincoln Avenue. That's traffic and weather from the only station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
In AgNet West today, as California producers continue to deal with the effects of long-term drought, it's proven to be a mixed bag for farmers. Farmers in California remain hopeful things will turn around soon, and that could come in the form of an El Niño later this year, providing some relief. Mary Holtz-Claus is the dean for the Agriculture College at California State Polytech University in Pomona. She says some farmers are better off than others right now.
Some areas are extremely dry as you drive up the coast, and others have either received rain or have access to water. So the Central Valley is the area around Fresno, which has particularly been hard hit because there hasn't been any rain, as well as the availability of water for irrigation is not as available to many farmers and ranchers in that area.
She says California farmers are looking at different strategies to cope with the drought situation.
When they receive notifications that they have to cut down or curtail their water, as they did significantly last year and even more this year, they've been very good stewards about that. They're accepting and understanding that in the West that water is probably more of a privilege than a right. And so they've in many cases had situations where they've had to tear up their orchards, almond orchards and walnut orchards, that they just are taking the crop out.
We will have more from Holtz-Claus in tomorrow's program.
You put more into your crops than most people realize. Time, effort, heart, and the not-so-proverbial blood, sweat, and tears. Farming's not just a career, it is your passion. At Compass Minerals, your passion is our commitment. We're proud to offer you Potassium Plus Premium Sulfate of Potash, a high-potassium fertilizer with sulfate sulfur and virtually no chloride. It's the potassium source that brings more to the table, so you can too. Call your local distributor or visit PotassiumPlus.com.
Market Wrap host Mo Ansari discusses the benefits of holistic wealth management.
You need somebody to hold your hand, guide you through the ups and downs of the stock market, the economy, and all the zigs and zags of life. That's why we created the wealth management solution, where we take the holistic approach and look at everything that you've got, not just trying to buy that one stock at the very bottom, sell it at the very top, buy those 2 annuities and 2 REITs and call me in 10 years sort of a thing. No, we do it step by step, day by day. It's a process, and we work with you all along the way.
If you're ready for some help, call Compact Asset Management at 800-388-9700 and schedule your free consultation with Mo Ansari to learn about his holistic approach to wealth management. Call 800-388-9700. That's 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
Are you thirsty for books that will fill your soul with wisdom, joy, and inspiration? Then take a refreshing and nourishing drink at Alice's Quiet Mind Bookstore, located in the heart of the Agape International Spiritual Center in Culver City, which incidentally was recently featured on The Today Show. From aromatic soy candles to best-selling authors like Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith and a whole host of other visionaries, Alice's Quiet Mind Bookstore has everything to soothe your body, spirit, and soul. For more info and directions, visit agapelive.com today.
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
Good morning, good morning. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Adam Russell.
And Tobin Brinker is on his way back from D.C. this morning. He'll be with us tomorrow. I wanted to say good morning to Bill DeSchwartz in the booth. How you doing, Bill?
I'm amused, but not amazed.
You're amused?
Yeah, one of my nephews, he pulled a shenanigan. Am I related to him? He put a stuffed doll in the passenger seat of his car, put a wig on it and glasses, and he thought that he could get away with driving in the carpool lane.
Yeah, I'm guessing he got nabbed.
He did. $245 nabbed.
Ouch.
Is that all? Oh,
that
no,
was it.
That was probably the fine, the ticket that goes with that fine. Because you can get a $20 texting ticket, and it'll cost you $120 by the time you've paid everything else to go along with it.
So why is there a ticket fee and a fine? I mean, isn't that,
Oh,
aren't
yeah.
they one and the same?
No, evidently not. What's interesting, they sell these things on, hey, it's only $20. It's a texting thing. Let's pass it in the law. And everybody's, okay, fine. It's only $20. But they got the court fee. They got this fee, that fee, everybody's fee. By the time you're out the door, it's $120.
It's like the airlines.
Yeah.
Fly for $79.
Oh, but if you want to bring a bag and if you want some water, the seatbelt's $5.
Exactly. But you have to
You
wear it.
don't need it.
Well, what's it called? Administrative fee? Is that
Yes.
it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's a breathing fee.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So I have to talk about this event that I went to last night. So I live in the city of San Bernardino, and you might have heard, it's kind of a secret, that San Bernardino has gone through a bankruptcy.
What? No.
Did you know that?
No.
So, and it's been a tough go the last couple of years for the city of San Bernardino.
Yeah.
And the mayor and the city council and the leadership in the city's school district, et cetera, really want to turn this thing around, as all of the residents do as well. And so they brought in a best-selling author and motivational speaker, management consultant, et cetera, Ron Kaufman. He's written a book called Uplifting Service. It's a New York Times a best-selling book. And he came all the way out. He lives in Singapore. He came all the way out from Singapore to do this work. This was the fourth time he'd been out. He'd worked only with the city before. Now he invited the community to come out, or they invited the community to come out. He did it for free.
Man.
And so I'm going to go out and buy his book. I'm going to try to get him on the show. But it was really, really positive. And the main message was, that we need to go to that extra mile for one another. I mean.
Oh, and you can tell. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
My two things. One, hot dog on a stick, right?
Yes, with the funny hats.
With funny hats, funny outfits, right?
Yes.
But you go there, and they're wearing the goofy outfits, they're wearing the goofy hats, but they're always happy.
They are.
Okay.
Squeezing those lemons.
Yeah, and they're getting minimum wage, and they're wearing these goofy outfits in a 10 by 10 workspace with three of them.
Yes.
Then you go to a bank where the tellers are getting $12, $13, $14 an hour.
Yes.
Okay. And man, you felt you just walked into a morgue sometimes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln said people are about as happy as they want to be.
Oh, absolutely.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But it's management, too. It's management from the top on down. And I was at the AMC theaters over at the Mills. And I were buying our ticket. Oh, wow, that's a great movie. My parents want to see that. They told me it was great. Have a great time. I would go in there to the concession stand. Oh, hey, here, have a great. And everybody was smiling, happy. And I'm going, wow, management. It's all about management.
Well, and you can't expect your employees to treat your customers any better than you treat your employees.
Absolutely.
And so that makes a big difference. And then we started thinking, so, from the top down and in the city infrastructure needs to be a positive environment. But the way that the public deals with the city needs to be positive. And we all control how we react to things, right?
Absolutely.
And we all control the attitude with which we're going to approach life. I mean, yeah, we absolutely do.
Yep.
So,
so this guy was a good speaker. What was the takeaway? What was your takeaway from that, from his speech? Anything?
Yeah, actually.
One thing?
Da, 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 da. No. So I'm thinking it was about to come out.
She gets up at 4:30. Oh wow, it's early. It's early.
It's early. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think the biggest thing is that we all serve one another. So it's not about what can the city do for me. It's not what you can do for me, banker.
Yeah.
The attitude that I bring, let's use the banker example, the attitude that I bring to the teller affects how the teller will react. And, we all affect each other's sense of well-being.
Ask not what you can do, what the country can do for you, but what you can do for the country.
And hasn't the country
Really is.
changed? I mean,
Yeah,
now
I
it's
know.
what can you do
man.
for somebody's got to fix
what can you
this.
do for me?
Yes.
And when can you do it? Preferably sooner than later.
Did you ever read the Family Circus cartoons back in?
Oh, I read them now.
Bill
love,
Keane.
Pardon?
Right? Bill Keane.
Yes, I love Family Circus. So they're. Have you seen the ones where it's like all the kids are sitting around, something's happened, and mom's like, "What? Who did this?" And all the kids, "Not me, not me, not me."
Oh yeah.
And that's.
And there's a little shadowy figure called
Exactly,
not
me. Exactly. And that's kind of, now he didn't talk about this, but this is the takeaway that I have, is that if we want to see something different in the city, then we've got to quit whining and make it happen and be cheerful about it.
So he talked specifically about San Bernardino.
He did.
Oh, wow.
Now he used other
Sure.
corporate examples as well, and Singapore Airlines is one of them, and several others, and it was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
And people left pumped up, and he got the audience like working with each other and making,
Good speaker.
moving
Got
around.
everybody involved.
Yeah, it was great.
One of the best speeches I ever went to, Colin Powell. This was a motivational thing. This is probably going back 15 years. And by the time, this was over at Arrowhead Pond. It was at Arrowhead Pond at the time, not Honda Center. And by the time he was done, about 12,000 people would have got up and followed him, because he was talking about America's Promise. And that's his charity that I think he leads, or is very big part of. They would have followed him out the door. He was that's what made him a general.
I so wish that he had run for president.
Yeah.
I so wish that he had run for president.
Yeah, well,
I
still can.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I don't
know.
think he will at this point, but I think he would have been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing. I named my daughter Reagan for a reason. I like President Reagan, but I liked his politics, but I also liked how he made people feel, and I think that was more important than anything, because we'd come out of the doldrums of the 70s with stagflation and high gas prices and Watergate and the Vietnam War and the Carter administration with the crashing helicopters in the desert and blah, blah, and the hostages taken, blah blah blah.
We had a spiritual malaise.
We did.
Great phrase.
Yes.
Look at Bill.
I'm not going to play Scrabble against you.
Just give him the mic. He's hot.
Although I think he actually said a crisis in confidence.
Yes, it's the same thing.
What?
And he fixed that.
Morning
he
in
changed
America.
that. It's Morning in America. And that's not MOURNING.
Oh.
It was MORNING.
Man, both of you were on fire. Wow.
So it was really
Fire bad.
And I use Pittsburgh is always my example of a city, and I don't know if I've talked about this since the last couple of days, but Pittsburgh should have gone the way of Detroit because it was a Rust Belt city, it was built on the steel industry, very blue collar, and then the steel industry went away. But they didn't. The city leaders had a real vision, and they have had this renaissance, and it's this beautiful, productive city. There's no reason why we couldn't do this. No reason.
I agree.
So we have a university, a college here. We have smaller
There's
universities.
So many resources, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
You got the highways coming together right here, the 15, 2, 10, 10.
We have an airport that's ready for customs whenever we got to keep advocating for that.
But this is what everybody says. It's the IE.
Yeah, so what?
Exactly. That's what
There's
I say.
4.5 million or 4.3 million people who live in the Inland Empire.
There are.
If we were anywhere else, we would be a force to be reckoned with. But because we're in the shadow of an 800-pound gorilla that is LA County, people go, oh, out there?
Yep.
Yeah, out here.
The folks in LA don't know there's anything east of the 605 other than a downed bridge on the 10 freeway. That's how they now know where the Inland Empire is.
You know, when I lived back east, I was asked, well, where are you from? And I learned quickly not to say San Bernardino because it either got followed by or where's that at?
But it was one of the
so you finally,
cities.
Yeah, I know. You finally had to say I'm from around LA because they could recognize that.
Yeah. Well, and truth be told, we are still Greater LA. I mean, you can drive 60 miles from San Bernardino to Los Angeles and never leave urban areas. It's all urban.
Why isn't LA called Greater San Bernardino?
Because they have millions of, I don't know.
Oh.
They're bigger.
Let's do a campaign. It's greater. So LA is now Greater San Bernardino. I live in the Greater San Bernardino area.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
There you go. I love it. I love it. Let's go for it. Well, it's time for a break. It's 6:17.
I'm exhausted. Need a break.
I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Adam Russell.
We got Bill Schwartz in the booth. We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. We'll be right back.
Listen to KCAA Loma Linda for less confrontation and more information.
Farmer AG Eric Holder is going home, and he's being greeted by millions. Hear about them today on Hightower Radio.
Hi, this is Steve Aladort from Rancho Financial with the Mortgage Minute. With property values increasing, this might be the perfect time to do a loan checkup to see if it makes sense to refinance. Do you have an equity line? If your equity line is getting close to 10 years old, your payment is about to fully amortize. Coupled with the certainty that the feds will soon increase short-term rates, there might be a substantial jump in payment on your line of credit. If we combine your current loan, equity line, and possibly even some of your credit debt, there could be a substantial reduction in what you have to pay each month. Do you have VA eligibility? VA will allow 100% cash-out financing. This may be a perfect time to use your eligibility. We can go 85% cash out with FHA or 80% with a standard conventional loan. There are many possible options that could make a huge difference in your monthly payments. That's why you need a loan financial planner to provide you with all of your possible options. Give me a call, Steve Aladort, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070, or go to loanfinancialplanner.com.
Wet n Wild Palm Springs is the one where you get big water park fun barefooting. In the sun barefooting, flow rider barefooting, Wet n Wild barefooting. Bring your friends and stay all day. Wet n Wild is your place to play barefooting.
Yeah, you gotta get barefooting this summer at Wet n Wild. Dive into all the thrills, all the action, all the fun. Take on awesome slides and rides. There's big fun for kids and much more. This summer, we have extended hours, dive-in movies every Friday, and everyone gets free tubes. Plus, save $7 on admission when you buy online or grab discount coupons at area Jack in the Box restaurants. For your best summer ever, it's Wet n Wild.
Slipping, sliding, barefooting, getting soaked barefooting, Wet n Wild barefooting.
Wet n Wild.
Barefooting, Wet n Wild barefooting.
Wet n Wild. Park open daily.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
From the KCAA Community Calendar, I'm Mark Westwood. Everyone's talking about the Third Thursdays in San Bernardino. Rediscover the City of San Bernardino Third Thursday Food Truck Fest. Switch up your lunchtime routine. Try the gourmet food trucks every third Thursday from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Court Street parking lot between E and D Streets in downtown San Bernardino. Enjoy delicious, tasty food from the food trucks such as the Slam and Sliders food truck, Farmer's Belly, the Bacon Mania truck, Piaggio on Wheels, or the Greasy Wiener. All kinds of mouth-watering delights, hot off the truck, and plenty to eat. Put an end to dull, boring fast food and truck on over to City Hall in San Bernardino for the third Thursday Food Truck Fest in downtown San Bernardino. For more info, check out Rediscover San Bernardino's Facebook page at facebook.com/SB Third Thursdays. That's SBTHIRD Thursdays. That's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Mark Westwood.
KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org. You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Adam Russell.
And Tobin Brinker is on vacation. He'll be back tomorrow. Got Bill DeSchwartz in the booth. We are on the brink. The morning show.
Yeah, let's see. Jive Talking. We ended with Jive Talking. We're starting with...
Maneater.
Maneater. You trying to tell us something?
Perhaps subliminally.
That you like the late 70s, early 80s is your favorite, time in history.
Was there any other good.
Yeah. Was there any other better time in history? Music was great. Well, history wasn't great.
History wasn't.
Was
well, we got the Reagan Revolution.
There you go.
So this story actually has surprised me a lot. When people talk about, baby boomers have a tendency to talk about millennials as those damn kids, that they
those damn kids.
That's true.
When I was that age.
Exactly. Yes, but it turns out millennials feel too guilty to take advantage of a common work benefit.
They don't feel guilty about anything,
and it's affecting their productivity. So while the American workforce becomes more transitory, with employees working at home or freelancers taking jobs from full-time employees, the concept of the vacation from work gets eroded. A study conducted by Alamo Rent-A-Car on vacation habits found that 40% of all Americans who receive paid vacation benefits did not use all of their allotted time off in 2014. 19% said they did not use at least 5 days of their paid vacation time in 2014. The study asked those who did not use all of their allotted time why they did not use it. Almost half said they were simply too busy at work to do so. Then there are those people who work during their vacation, and millennials are most guilty of that, and guilty is in quotes. 34% of millennials said they work every day of their vacations. They also reported the effect of that workload was a decrease in productivity when they got back from their vacation. Of course it was. The study compared American employees who used all of their vacation time against those that did not, and found that 54% of those who use all of their vacation time did not work during their time off, while only 37% of those who did not use all of their time were able to unplug completely. So how about you?
Well,
do you take your vacation time?
I take my vacation. I tend to jumble it all towards the end of the year, though. I'm in a big part of my job is business development. And at the end of the year, not a lot of folks are around. Decision makers are taking vacation. And so that's when I go. On the millennial thing, what I've noticed with my kids are 25, 23, and almost 21. They're constantly doing two or more things at one time. If we're sitting down as a family and watching TV, and of course when I say family, it's whatever the girls want to watch. That's what I end up watching. They will be watching, like last night we had taped So You Think You Can Dance. The show's on, but they're on their phones, texting, going back and forth, that sort of thing. And on the vacation thing, I think that's what they do. That's what I do. I'll have my iPhone. My wife hates if I have my iPhone with me because we'll be at Fisherman's Wharf, and then I'll be on the phone talking with someone. This was on Friday.
Yes.
Okay.
When you're taking your mini break up to
San
Francisco.
Beautiful day up there. Wow, it was gorgeous. I'm on the phone, and we're walking Fisherman's Wharf, and I'm just following her because if you're on your phone, you really can't do if you want to be focused on the conversation. And so that's kind of an example there where you can't leave your job behind, and it's a choice. You can choose to leave your job behind, and that's what I love about a cruise. There really isn't cell phone coverage on a cruise unless you want to pay for it, and you're disconnected there. That's the beauty of it. But the millennials, I think they just like doing a lot of things all at one time. They're very good at that.
Now, is it because so many of them have such large amounts of college debt? Is it just a matter of, I have to do my job very well so that I can move up and have more money? I mean, because really, they don't have the buying power that they used to.
Well, no,
that people their age used to.
And for them, over at Cal State, I was talking to one of the HR professors. It's not a money thing. Money isn't necessarily their one reward. They like time off, or they like being able to take time off to do charity work, or they want to have a fun job. And these folks, the baby boomers, and I'm on the tail end of the baby boomers, but like my dad, for example, he joined B of A in 1948, and he was there for 42 years.
Yeah, those days are gone.
Yeah, not a lot of folks. You talk to people.
Did he get a gold watch?
He got a watch. It wasn't gold, but after a 5, 10, 25-year anniversary, they used to hand out these things. I don't even know if there's a anniversary. There used to be an anniversary book that, it's my 10 year. I get to look through the book and pick what I want. I don't even know if people do that anymore. If the companies do that, I'm sure they do.
Yeah, maybe some of the.
What does Google hand out? Oh, you have 10 gigabytes of hard drive space.
Woohoo!
There you go. I don't know. But the millennials are interesting folks. They're not afraid of making mistakes. As on iPhone, if you work on the iPhone, how you figure it out is you make mistakes. Nope, that didn't work. Let's try that. Nope, that didn't work. Let's try. Oh, there it goes.
Right.
You have to make mistakes. Whereas when we were in the workforce coming in our 20s and 30s, you make a mistake, your boss yelled at you.
Yeah, exactly. Indeed, or worse, or even worse, they fired you.
Well, you mentioned vacations, and a lot of times it's not really spoken of, but employers tend to assess how well we can get along without them. I've had friends who've come back from vacation to find they're replaced.
Yeah. What was that? The account tips ad? Bob? Oh, don't worry, Bob's here.
Bob can handle it.
Exactly.
No worries. Take your time.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't hurry back. Bob's taking care of it.
Yeah, that makes everybody really comfortable.
I think that cold is clearing up now.
See, he remembers.
But I've actually had employers say, as I put in for my vacation time, well, you can take this day and this day, but you can't take that day. No, you don't understand. I'm going somewhere. We don't have anything going on. No, but I want you to, and so there's sometimes
you gotta work through that too.
Yeah, sometimes employers are not very supportive. Oh, you can take 2 days, but you can't take any more than that.
But I think that's where the millennials go, okay, well, I'm leaving this job.
Yeah.
Out of here.
Well, and kind of it's the world has become very different. I mean, are we a nation now, whether we're employed or not, as a 1099 employee or as a W-2 employee, aren't we all subcontractors? Aren't we all in charge of, I'm in charge of Aaron Brinker Inc.
Yep.
And
everybody's got 2 gigs. I mean, I talk to a lot of people that, hey, this is their day job, but then they have either something going on eBay or they got this internet thing going or they're doing something else on the side. It seems like everybody's got 2 gigs.
I aim satellite systems after I get done here.
Do you really?
I do. And it's quite physical. After you've been up at 3:30 in the morning, it gets around 2 p.m.
You aim satellite systems.
Yeah, for HughesNet.
Wow. Now, do you have to go down to Torrance?
No, it's kind of like cheap internet that's based on satellite transmission, where I guess they find it to be a reasonable alternative to DSL or dial-up.
Oh, okay, got it.
Or they don't want to pay the cable company for whatever reason.
Well, I've seen the ads. Is that basically folks out in the desert that have HughesNet, right?
Not just the desert, surprisingly. I've done them in West Covina and Azusa and El Monte. And
he's not a millennial. I promise you he's not a millennial.
No, I just need the income, baby.
There you go. But back to the point of, I think a lot of people have 2 gigs going on.
I agree.
So you can take a vacation from yourself, but if you have your own gig, you can't take a vacation.
No, you can't. And I think it's, after the bottom fell out in 2008, it's like, I'm not putting my eggs in one basket anymore. Yeah. So I'll have a couple things going. The chances are, if something goes under, they're not all going to go under. Yeah. And I really think it has to do with developing a better safety net for ourselves.
It sounds good to me.
So it's time for another break. It's 6:29. After we get back, we're going to be talking to Chris Carrillo. He is an incumbent running for the East Valley Water District Board. And I'm looking forward to that conversation. I'm Aaron Brinker.
And I'm Adam Russell.
Tobin Brinker's on vacation. We've got Bill DeSchwartz in the booth. We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. We'll be right back.
KCAA is your CNBC News affiliate. We're the station that gets down to business.
California headline news. Fire investigators trying to figure out what sparked a brush fire that threatened a large commercial building and several cars in Petaluma yesterday. Crews on the ground had help from CAL FIRE attack planes that happened to be returning from their base from another fire. Those who had to run from their cars on I-15 last week barely escaped with their lives, but now the owners of the cars that were burned out are getting bills for up to $1,600 for having them towed away. CHP saying that they're asking tow companies to cut these victims a break.
We're trying to conduct it so it's fair for everybody.
Officer Steve Carpea says some tow companies are waiving all fees, others are reducing fees, some aren't budging. Well, this week's weather in Southern California may be a signal of what's on the way. NASA scientists say it's the most solid evidence yet that a powerful El Nino is coming.
It will deliver a wet winter.
True El Nino would mean extreme flooding and mudslides, but would also put a big dent in the drought. Geico Weather, seasonal temps, some rain in the Northeast. I'm John Gilliland, California News.
2 days ago, Jeff McDonald posted the following. Just watch the sunrise from above the clouds. So stoked. Jeff got 19 likes and 7 comments. Not bad, Jeff. Geico has a comment to add that may make you even more stoked. In just 15 minutes, you could save hundreds of dollars on car insurance by switching to Geico. And if that doesn't put your head above the clouds, you'll have the extra money to scale a peak that will. Hashtag on cloud 9, hashtag savings.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Right now, you may be thinking about your iron. You definitely unplugged it. You ironed your shirt, then pulled the plug. You're sure of it. 92% sure. Well, cut it out. Because what you should be thinking about is switching to Geico and saving hundreds of dollars on car insurance. They have 24/7 access to help answer any of your questions. Okay, now go back to thinking about the iron. Was the little red light on or off?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Ron Pritchard for this morning. We've got patchy drizzle and isolated showers, cloudy skies becoming mostly sunny with a high near 84. Tonight, patchy drizzle, increasing clouds, a low near 63. Thursday, patchy drizzle, cloudy skies through mid-morning, gradual clearing with a high near 84. Thursday night, mostly clear, low near 62. Friday, sunny with a high near 87. Friday night, clear, low near 62. Sunny and a high near 89 on Saturday. Mostly clear Saturday night with a low near 63. Sunny on Sunday with a high near 89. Sunday night, mostly clear, low near 63. Sunny on Monday with a high near 93. That's your weather forecast for this hour from the station that leaves no listener behind, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, KCAA.
Art Bell is back, and he's coming to KCAA.
There are a lot of people who think that we are Martians, that there's a strong possibility that we are Martians. That's why I said us. No, I'm serious. There was a civilization on Mars. That might have been us or our ancestors.
Nobody is more captivating than Art Bell.
Now, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there is something here that defies logical explanation.
Tune into the best, Midnight in the Desert with Art Bell.
The only way you're going to get the American people to pony up the billions of dollars, however many hundreds of billions it would be to go to Mars, the only way you're going to get them to do that is to convince them that we have a real reason to go. Want to take a ride?
Weeknights at 9 p.m. on KCAA, 1050 a.m. You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Adam Russell.
And Tobin Brinker is on vacation. He'll be back tomorrow. Got Bill Schwartz in the booth. Up next, I'm so excited to talk to him. We have Chris Carrillo. He is running for re-election to the East Valley Water Board in Highland. So, Chris, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Erin. Thanks for having me on.
It's great to have you on. So, tell us about yourself and why you're running for re-election.
Well, I grew up in San Bernardino County. That's my home. It's where my family lives. It's where I've been doing a lot of work on public policy and issues, and the last 10 years or so, both at the federal and local level. And the last time I was on this show, you and about 300 other community leaders raised a good chunk of change for some of our local charities.
Yes.
So, it's things like that have inspired me to want to run for this. I was appointed to the board last year, and so this is my first election.
So how's it going?
I'm learning a lot.
I
At
bet
the
you
federal
are.
level, I had a good exposure to a lot of water districts in Southern California. But, we're drilling deep, so to speak, pun intended. And I've learned a lot the last 10 months on the board. It's a great board. We have a great staff, a really strong CEO in John Mura. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot.
So tell us about your background a little bit. I know that you worked for Senator Dianne Feinstein. What did you do for her, and what have you learned from her, and then moving forward in your career?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I had a great opportunity for about 6.5 years to be her senior aide in Southern California, one of about 10 staffers in California. And, sometimes people have strong opinions about their politicians, and so when I say Senator Feinstein, I normally half the room loves me, another half I might lose. But, it was a great opportunity, regardless of the politics, to work on regional projects, in San Bernardino County, Riverside County, and Orange County. Those are the 3 counties I covered for her, and all federal issues. So my job was really to ensure that she knew what was going on in those 3 communities and to give her recommendations on how she should act. So things like, UCR Medical School, they were struggling with some state funding. I recommended the senator write to the governor and did a lot of that work, and so that they could get state funding. And so the UCR Medical School is now up and running, and of course it's a total group effort, but the senator definitely had influence on that. ADA, there was small businesses being targeted by opportunistic attorneys a couple of years ago, and actually it's still going on today. And so that's another thing that I had a chance to work on. Transportation, water, environmental issues. Those are some of the things I've had the opportunity and privilege to work on.
So that gives you a different perspective than I would say most people have when dealing with water issues. Especially Senator Feinstein was very, very active with desert protection and all of that. Can you talk about some of the work that you did in that area?
Yeah, absolutely. I was one of 2 staffers that actually helped author the California Desert Protection Act, Part 2, which was based in San Bernardino County, up in our high desert areas, more in the remote desert areas near Route 66 and the Mojave National Preserve, Joshua Tree National Park. But protecting the environment, of course, is a big priority for her. It was for me on staff, of course. And so that's a piece of legislation that's actually working its way through the Senate right now. We introduced it initially in 2009, and it takes time to get this stuff through. But I think the senator's hopeful that it will get passed later this year.
Yeah, I have a question on that. Is that because I love the desert? My brother-in-law is a big naturalist, biologist. He does a lot of work out there. Now, how do you get to combine the solar farm? I don't know if there are requirements, but there's a lot of solar farms going out there. When they put these things up, they scrape the desert. How do you put that all together?
Yeah, you're right. That's a really good question. So the federal government, as you probably know, there's a lot of federal land out there in the desert. It's mostly federal land, BLM, Bureau of Land Management property. And so the senator had a lot to do with weighing in on what should be done and what shouldn't be done in those areas. And you're right. With the wave of solar activity coming in 2005 with the Energy Policy Act and the Bush administration really pushing for that aspect of it, a lot of that looked to California and in our desert and to see where can we put all these projects. And, of course, you have so many stakeholders in the desert. You've got military installations. Of course, you have 500,000 people that live up in that area. You've got environmental groups. You have off-highway vehicle enthusiast groups. So there's a lot of different people out there that care about the desert and what they want to see in it for the future. And so when you're looking at solar farms and wind farms, one of the things to really be cautious of, and I know the senator felt this way, and I did as well, is wherever you put these projects, just keep in mind that it's going to be there for the next 25 to 30 plus years. And so finding what we argued was disturbed land, not the pristine desert, not national park quality lands, but trying to find other types of disturbed lands. That's where it's appropriate to put those projects. And there's a lot of those areas out there in the California desert. But the entire California desert is not one big open wasteland, like I think some people.
It just looks like it.
The desert, a lot of people feel that way. You're driving out to Vegas, you don't ever, make a left turn to Death Valley National Park off the 15.
But they should. It's awesome out there.
Yeah, so there's a lot there to fight for. But I was happy to be a part of that.
So talk about what you can then take from all of that, because I imagine you just learned a tremendous amount. And how does it affect the decisions that you make and the way that you approach the water board?
I think the most important thing I learned in that experience was there's always at least two sides to a story, sometimes 16 or 17 sides, and it's important to hear everybody's perspective before you make a decision. And so I think being deliberate, being professional, not rushing to judgment on something, those are values that I've taken from my experience in public policy, and that's what I bring to the East Valley Water Board, I hope. We're tackling a lot of big decisions. Right now, we just passed budget-based rates in our district, and so we created a conservation tier, sort of an incentive to conserve, if you will. We're looking at replacing aging infrastructure, and that comes at a cost. And, of course, we've got our water recycling center. It's a proposed project that we're looking to capture more water here locally and reduce our dependence on state water. So when you look at all three of those big picture decisions, it's important to weigh the pros and cons and hear from as many people as you can before you vote on something.
So you were the newbie coming on board here. Now you're running for re-election. What was one thing when you came on there that kind of surprised you, that you didn't know about a water board or the water issues or something like that, something that you learned that you go, wow, it never occurred to me?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the thing I learned the most was we all hear about water with the drought. Of course, we're 4 years into the drought, and the snowpack in the Sierra is, I think, at 5% of normal. We hear about the availability of water a lot, but we don't actually talk a lot about how we convey water, how we get water, to your tap, to your faucet, and clean, safe, reliable water. And we don't really talk a lot about the infrastructure behind delivering water.
Well, you mentioned the infrastructure. What kind of shape are our pipes in? L.A., you always hear about exploding pipes from the 1920s, and they can't maintain them, and they can't get water from one place to the other. How do we compare in that respect?
Well, I mean, in the Inland Empire, we're a slightly newer community, so to speak, compared to Los Angeles, but we still face the same problems. We still have aging pipelines and water mains, and so it's important that we replace those. I can only speak for our district, which is the eastern third of city of San Bernardino, the city of Highland, and Mentone. We have about 102,000 ratepayers, but in our district, I can tell you our East Valley Board really has prioritized capital improvement projects, replacing those aging pipelines, because you're right, the last 6-7 months we've seen a lot. You turn on the news, you see a lot about the L.A. mains breaking. It's not only a loss of water, it costs the district more money. 3 months ago I turned on the news and it said something about brown water was coming out of people's faucets. So for me,
that's not okay.
It's not okay. Yeah,
it's just
right,
rust,
Aaron, it's not,
iron oxide.
So fortunately we haven't run into those issues here, and hopefully I think with some forward thinking and proper planning, we won't have to.
So how do people get in touch with you to maybe pound a lawn sign in their yard or donate or that sort of thing?
Well, you can reach me either by email or by phone, but I'll give you my phone number because I think that's the best way to reach me. I'm at 909-493-5337. That's my direct cell.
Can you give that one more time?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a 909-493-5337. And if people are interested, either whether they're in my district and they're a ratepayer or not, just in Inland Empire, if they have questions about water, feel free to give me a call. I'm happy to talk.
Now, before I let you go, I have one more question. We've heard conversations. Everybody's conserving water, where they're not watering their lawns as much and that sort of thing. Quickly, because we only have about a minute left. How has that affected your district? Are rates going to go up? Is the status quo going to be maintained? What does that look like for you all?
Yeah, we've tried to put the power in the consumer's hands. So that's when I talked about budget-based rates. We have an indoor rate, we have an outdoor rate, and then we have a conservation tier. So if you think about it as if you're filling up a glass, half of that glass might be your indoor use allocation, outdoor use would be the top half. And if you go over that, then you're going to be charged in the conservation tier, which is a much higher rate. So what we've done is tried to hit our 28% goal. We've got a campaign called On Our Way to 28, which is essentially the governor has issued his mandate for our district to reduce water consumption by 28% based off of 2013 levels. So with our budget-based rates, we hope that we can accomplish that. But, it's up to the people. They need to conserve, and so far we're seeing really good results. May, we saw a 49% reduction.
Holy smokes.
And in June, those numbers are still coming in. So, but we expect it to be higher than 28%.
It's amazing.
So we're really happy about that.
It's amazing what you can do when you really try.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no kidding. I think we're all up for the challenge.
Yep.
So, Chris, it's been fantastic having you on. I thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Aaron, so much. I really appreciate it.
So we've been talking to Chris Carrillo, who is he's an appointed member of the East Valley Water District Board. He's running for to keep his seat here in 2015. Check him out at chriscarrillo.net. I'm Aaron Brinker.
And I'm Adam Russell.
We got Bill Schwartz in the booth, and we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. We'll be right back.
KCAA is your CNBC News affiliate. We're the station that gets down to business.
Wet n Wild Palm Springs is the one where you get big water park fun barefooting. In the sun barefooting. Flow rider barefooting. Wet n Wild barefooting. Bring your friends and stay all day. Wet n Wild is your place to play barefooting.
Yeah, you gotta get barefooting this summer at Wet n Wild. Dive into all the thrills, all the action, all the fun. Take on awesome slides and rides. There's big fun for kids and much more. This summer, we have extended hours, dive-in movies every Friday, and everyone gets free tubes. Plus, save $7 on admission when you buy online or grab discount coupons at area Jack in the Box restaurants. For your best summer ever, it's Wet n Wild.
Slipping, sliding, barefooting. Getting soaked barefooting. Wet n Wild barefooting.
Wet n Wild.
Barefooting. Wet n Wild barefooting.
Wet n Wild. Park open daily.
As the markets continue higher and experts continue to call for a correction, how should you invest? Do you buy now, hoping for higher highs, or wait for a pullback and hope it's not the beginning of a major correction? Do you sell now before the markets correct, or hold on for even bigger gains? Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, host of Market Wrap and president of Compact Asset Management. At Compact, we believe proactive management is the key to successful investing. We start by developing an investment portfolio that fits your needs and risk tolerance. Then we continue to analyze the markets and your portfolio, making adjustments as market conditions and your lifestyle change. If you're fearful about your investments or unsure which way to turn, call me, Mo Ansari, at 1-800-388-9700, and let's work together to get the most out of these markets, no matter where they're headed. Call 1-800-388-9700, 1-800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC.
Like to spend a few days in another world? Then write this down. Golden Bear Cottages, Big Bear Lake. Now, listen, this is not some corporate-owned operation. It's family-owned and operated by some real nice people. Unique? Oh, you bet. Golden Bear Cottages features 28 one-of-a-kind cabins on a 5-acre historic site. Great for families, couples, and groups. And cabins are available with 1 to 7 bedrooms. Golden Bear Cottages is just a stone's throw from Big Bear Lake and super close to 3 great ski areas. Now, I could go on all day about Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear, but to see everything, just go to goldenbear.net. Again, goldenbear.net. Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear. Clean, comfortable, and affordable. Check them out. goldenbear.net.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
Here's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Di Rice. Alternative Cancer Treatment Advocates is a group looking for board members to serve as secretary and treasurer. The group will exist as a 501c3, and its purpose will be to help raise funds for those who need alternative cancer treatments. In order to be an active board member, you must either be a cancer survivor or have been in a close relationship with someone who has or who has had cancer. You must also be able to do the work required for the position you are volunteering for, and you must accept the title as an unpaid position. If you are interested in helping to fund alternative cancer treatments and would like to volunteer as a board member for Alternative Cancer Treatment Advocates, please call Rebecca Jansch at 909-552-6718. That's 909-552-6718. That's a look at the community calendar on KCAA 1050 AM.
The KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org. For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
Welcome back as we creep up the 80s with our music. This is Billy Idol. I like it. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Adam Russell.
Tobin Brinker's on vacation. We got Bill Schwartz in the booth. So Rod Blagojevich is in the news. And people are like, who's he? He's the guy.
From Illinois?
From Illinois.
Oh.
Former Governor Rod Blagojevich.
Oh, isn't that Blagojevich?
No, it's Blagojevich.
It says
Is he still in prison or is he out?
Yes. Well, he got some
14 years, baby.
Yeah, he got
Wow.
some news yesterday that sounded great on the surface. A judge overturned 5 of the more sensational corruption convictions against the former Illinois
Didn't
governor.
he have like 200?
Yeah, it was something crazy. Yeah. And ordered him to be resentenced, reports the AP. But as the Chicago Tribune notes, it may not ultimately affect his 14-year sentence, and he's not getting out in the interim. The federal appeals court called the evidence against Blagojevich overwhelming, and the other 13 convictions against him stand. And suggested the original sentence was not at all too harsh. However, the court found that jurors got improper instructions on 5 counts connected to his proposed deal with the White House. In exchange for a cabinet post, he'd appoint Obama aide Valerie Jarrett to the president's vacated Senate seat. And this is according to the Chicago Sun-Times. Prosecutors could appeal, seek to retry Blagojevich on the 5 counts, or let Blagojevich go back before the original judge for resentencing. The appeals court didn't sound sympathetic to him. The appeals court, but because the 5 counts may have had some effect on the total sentence, it says the judge must take another look. It's not possible to call 168 months unlawfully high for Blagojevich's crimes, but the district judge should consider on remand whether it's the most appropriate sentence, says today's opinion. Blagojevich's brother, Robert, said he was cautiously optimistic about the news. I'm hopeful that this will lead to a long overdue positive outcome for my brother. Justice is long overdue. Yeah, I don't think so.
What a family Thanksgiving that must be.
I know, right?
Justice, try saying Blagojevich 5 times fast.
Exactly.
That's justice.
Blagojevich. Yeah, seriously.
That's a drinking game.
It is. Well, I think that my guess is that Chicago politics have been this way for a long, long time. And
they have. My family, my father's family is from there.
Oh,
they
yeah.
just shake their head every time they see what's going on.
Bill, I'm starting to wonder. Your father's family's from Chicago. Your mother's from San Bernardino. What kind of politics are you looking at here, pal?
He was a lieutenant colonel at Norton Air Force Base, and that's where he met my mom, who had my 2 other half-brothers, and so
there you go.
And the rest is history.
Yes, as they say.
Chicago-style politics. Wow. And it's, you just can't go there without getting political.
No, you can't. You just, you can't. Yeah.
And not only was he from Illinois, I found out later in my 50s that I had 2, a half-brother and a half-sister in Texas I didn't know about.
Oh, surprise.
I finally got to meet them.
Wow.
Oh, geez.
Wow. Well, have you seen the show? It's not on anymore, but it used to be on... I watched it on Netflix. It's called Boss. Kelsey Grammer plays the mayor of Chicago. Oh my gosh, it's excellent. It is absolutely excellent, and I cried when I was done because I'm like, oh, it's done. And apparently it was too expensive to have Kelsey Grammer come back and do any more seasons because he wanted too much money. And so they just ended it. I think it was like 3 seasons or something.
Huh?
But it's excellent, and it kind of gives you a glimpse at their fictionalized version of Chicago politics. It's entertaining.
Is there anything fictional about Chicago politics?
Yeah, all of it is fictional.
It seems fictional. You can't write a book about it.
So the FCC appears ready to approve a $67 billion merger of AT&T and DirecTV.
Wow.
Do you have AT&T
Man.
or DirecTV?
I have DirecTV.
Do you like it?
I do. I do like it.
So sorry.
Go ahead.
We had DirecTV for years and got great service, and all of a sudden they were they gave horrible service. Like we had issues, and they wouldn't come out, and finally we switched to AT&T Uverse.
If I had digital, I'd be there in a heartbeat. I'd be there with either Verizon's Fios, which does not serve my area of Claremont. Uverse is not there, so I'm stuck either with cable or with DirecTV. And to choose between cable and DirecTV, I'm going to go with DirecTV.
That's a no-brainer.
You know, DirecTV, they were jacking up my rate every 6 months.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm going, what is this?
Now, the beauty when I originally started with them is that there were no taxes on DirecTV. Cable had about a 30-year bill was this tax, this fee, that fee. DirecTV, it was $49 and that's it. Well, now it's crept up to $105.
Yes.
And that's without HBO, Cinemax, Showtime.
Yes.
And this is the bare bones kind of stuff. So, and the problem is my internet in Claremont sucks.
Does it?
Can I say that on radio? Sucks?
Yes, you can.
Okay, very good. And because there isn't it's old DSL. It's not any of the Uverse or Fios that I'd like to have.
So we had Uverse, and then we realized that we were paying for something we never had time to watch.
Okay.
And so last summer, we quit. We just have internet now. We don't have any cable or anything. And so our entertainment comes.
Cut the cable.
I have.
You're scaring these guys.
I know. Well, there's actually I have a lot of friends who have done that.
Yeah,
Like, why am
me
I
too.
paying for this? I work all the time. I don't have time to watch that.
The millennials.
Yeah, exactly.
They will not have a cable box in their
No,
house.
they won't. And it actually makes sense. And especially now with HBO, you can have a subscription that's just internet based.
Yeah.
And so you can watch Game of Thrones and your other favorites. And
the only thing that keeps you tied to the box are sporting events.
Well, that's the thing. Tobin will end up in football season. He'll go to sports bars or his brother's house or somewhere to watch the games.
And then you're spending a month cable bill in one day.
Like, how much are you drinking,
how many
honey?
wings, how many beers, a 4-hour period.
Sorry.
We were kind of trying to watch some college games because they had, what was that, Sportsnet LA, and Pac-12 channel. College football time comes around. We're glued to the TV. Unless it's not on TV, then we have to go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
And watch it there.
Yep.
Well, as long as it's not Hooters, you'll stay married.
Yeah. Of course, there's also the tilted kilt.
Oh, no, that's even
Don't tell my
worse.
wife.
That's even worse.
What's wrong with the tilted kilt? Nice Scottish place.
With nice Scottish lasses.
Oh, Bill, you're aware of this establishment.
Drop
no.
the L.
No. Very no.
Good
no.
food.
So the deal with AT&T and DirecTV would be the biggest media merger of the year. It would make one of the nation's largest telecommunications company much larger, adding nearly 40 million viewing customers. But the approval, which won't be final until the 5-member FCC votes, it doesn't come free for AT&T. Amid a flurry of last-minute legal filings, meetings, and competitors' objections, the pending approval comes loaded with concessions by AT&T. FCC Chairman Tom Wheeler circulated the draft order among his fellow commissioners late Tuesday. Wheeler said in a statement that AT&T would have to bring high-speed fiber internet connections to an additional 12.5 million customers, maybe Claremont too, customer locations as a result of the deal. So this may end up being good for consumers.
Do you remember when they tried to merge with Dish?
Yes.
That didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
Well, it gives you one satellite company, and the government really doesn't want to have a monopoly there. And that's what AT&T was. They were a monopoly. And then 30 years ago, they broke them up?
Yes.
35 years ago, the baby bells. And this makes sense because you've got a wired communications company with a wireless communications company. It's just one big company.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, and I've been happy with AT&T. We still have AT&T high-speed internet. We have the highest. We ordered the highest level available to us. We're like $50 or $46 a month.
I'm all wrapped up with Verizon. The Verizon One bill, landline, cell lines, DSL, and my DirecTV bill all in one.
Well, it's $6.59. We are out of time. Adam, it's been so fun having you on the show.
Thank you very much.
So
I've enjoyed being here.
It's been a treat. So I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Adam Russell.
And we have Bill Schwartz in the booth. We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. Have a great Wednesday, everybody.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of buysellmakeoffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. It's a tough day for the techs. We begin with Apple, the company's fourth quarter earnings and forecast coming in above expectations, but Wall Street wanted more. Sales of iPhones jumping 35% year over year. iPad shipments were down 18%, but in line with expectations. And sales of Macs missing the mark. Meantime, Microsoft posting better than expected results on the top and bottom lines, but it was hurt by charges to write off the Nokia phone business it bought a year ago. And Yahoo reported a nearly $22 million loss. The company is being forced to spend more money to attract users to its websites. We also had results from Boeing, its earnings and revenues topping expectations, but the aerospace giant cutting its full-year forecast because of a problem with its military fuel tanker. And Coca-Cola reporting better than expected results. Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio.
Overturned truck blocking the carpool lane, freeway construction slowing everything down. I travel for work. News like that used to ruin my whole day until I discovered Citrix GoToMeeting. With GoToMeeting, I can meet from anywhere using my computer, tablet, or smartphone. And with HD video, I simply turn on my webcam and it's like being in the same room, which means I can stay productive no matter how bad the traffic gets.
Visit GoToMeeting.com and start our free 30-day trial. That's GoToMeeting.com.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH+. EH+ combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH+ gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE. You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
I love me that double chime. It's 7:02 in the morning. I'm Bill Schwartz, checking out your traffic and weather. Partly cloudy skies today, hence a lot of drizzle, and we're going to see temps in the 70s and 80s. Same for LA and Orange County, but the beaches will be in the upper 70s. Currently, it's already 73 degrees. With checking out your traffic, it looks like we've still got an accident in Chino. The shoulder is blocked on the 60 eastbound before Central Avenue. Also in Corona, stop-and-go traffic on the I-15 northbound between Temescal Canyon Road and Cajalco Road. That's traffic and weather from the only station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
Hi, this is Steve Allenort from Rancho Financial with the Mortgage Minute. With property values increasing, this might be the perfect time to do a loan checkup to see if it makes sense to refinance. Do you have an equity line? If your equity line is getting close to 10 years old, your payment is about to fully amortize. Coupled with the certainty that the feds will soon increase short-term rates, there might be a substantial jump in payment on your line of credit. If we combine your current loan, equity line, and possibly even some of your credit debt, there could be a substantial reduction in what you have to pay each month. Do you have VA eligibility? VA will allow 100% cash-out financing. This may be a perfect time to use your eligibility. We can go 85% cash out with FHA or 80% with a standard conventional loan. There are many possible options that could make a huge difference in your monthly payments. That's why you need a loan financial planner to provide you with all of your possible options. Give me a call, Steve Alladort, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070, or go to loanfinancialplanner.com.
When Wild Palm Springs is the one where you get big water park fun barefooting, in the sun barefooting, flow rider barefooting, wet and wild barefooting. Bring your friends and stay all day. Wet and Wild is your place to play barefooting.
Yeah, you gotta get barefooting this summer at Wet and Wild. Dive into all the thrills, all the action, all the fun. Take on awesome slides and rides. There's big fun for kids and much more. This summer, we have extended hours, dive-in movies every Friday, and everyone gets free tubes. Plus, save $7 on admission when you buy online or grab discount coupons at area Jack in the Box restaurants. For your best summer ever, it's Wet and Wild.
Slipping, sliding, barefooting, getting soaked barefooting, wet and wild barefooting.
Wet and Wild.
Barefooting, wet and wild barefooting.
Wet and Wild. Park open daily.
KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station, where your business comes first.
He has been a professional money manager for the last 18 years. He is a regular contributor to the Fox Business Channel and Bloomberg Radio. In addition to this, he is a regular contributor to TheStreet.com and MarketWatch.com. Now he's live here on the Wall Street Business Network. Here is Bill Gunderson.
To the Wednesday morning, it is the July 22nd live edition of the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour with professional money manager Bill Gunderson, president of Gunderson Capital Management. Well, let's take a look. How's the day starting? A lot better than it looked at about 3 a.m. this morning. I happened to wake up and just look at the futures just for fun, and it wasn't looking very good, but we've improved quite a bit since then. We have the S&P 500 right now down just 2 points. I mean, it was down a lot more in the pre-action this morning. The S&P 500 is at 2,117, not too far from its all-time high. Did you know that this is the third longest bull market in history? How can you hate it? I hear about these people that hate it. This is the most hated bull market of all time. Ooh, harumph, harumph. Well, I've enjoyed every minute of it. The Dow is down 15 points. The Dow is at 17,904. The NASDAQ, which is under pressure this morning because of Microsoft and Apple, we have the NASDAQ down 33 points right now to 5,175. Crude oil continues to be very, very weak. Commodities very weak in general. Crude oil is at $50.16. Hey, how come gasoline prices are roaring higher at the gas pump? Oil prices aren't roaring higher. There seems to be some kind of conspiracy there. Gold is at $1,089. That's the first time it's been below $1,100 for quite some time. I continue to avoid gold like the plague. It's in a bear market. The euro is at 1.0892. The 10-year yield, 2.32%. So welcome to the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour with professional money manager Bill Gunderson. Well, the earnings are rolling in now, aren't they? It's a flood. It's hard to keep up with, really. When the market closes, there's like 5 of them that they're waiting on. Any minute we're going to get earnings from this company. And then the stocks immediately react to those earnings. Those earnings either disappointed, or they met expectations, or they exceeded expectations. And then the stocks react wildly to those estimates or to those reports. I watched with interest Chipotle. I came home from my run yesterday, and my son was eating Chipotle for lunch. I got to admit, there's a Chipotle in our building, and I've only eaten there like once or twice. I'm not a Chipotle fan. Look, we grew up close to Mexico here in Tijuana, and genuine Mexican food, which I make at home. People ask me, Bill, what's the best Mexican restaurant in San Diego? I say, my kitchen. That's where I had my chili rellenos last night, homemade chili rellenos. Chipotle is not Mexican food. Come on, you're not going to find anything like that south of the border. But Chipotle was way down in the after hours, incredibly, getting just smashed. And I said to my son, it's probably because they don't have the carnitas anymore. He says, yeah, that's a bummer, but I like the barbacoa still. Okay. Well, now it's way up today, so that after-hours trading can be treacherous. I sent out a tweet last night after the Apple report, and I said, you know what? I'm glad I sold my Apple last week. I will tell you in the second quarter why I sold Apple, and I sold Skyworks last week also, which makes a lot of the innards of the Apple smartphone. And I had people ask me on Twitter, what led you to sell those stocks? Well, I'll identify those factors in the second quarter of the show. Meanwhile, let's see. EMC beats by 2 cents. That's good. What else? Apple actually beat earnings. You know, they were looking for $1.81. They came in at $1.86. But there were other factors there. GoPro, one of the most expensive stocks in the market. Let's see, what's GoPro's PE ratio these days? 36. It could be worse. GoPro's actually down. They did beat earnings a little bit. Yahoo, one of the worst run companies in America, they missed earnings. Illumina, a stock that I've owned off and on over time, one of the great stocks here in San Diego. Not a stock that I own right now, however. Illumina missed earnings, and it's down. Baby, which is Natus Medical, a stock that I own here at Gunderson Capital Management, they beat earnings by a few cents. Microsoft was a miss. Okay, Microsoft is a major player in the indexes, not only the Dow but the NASDAQ. When's the last time Microsoft was a best stock now, I ask? I don't think it has been one since I invented the Best Stocks Now app back in 2009, 2010. I don't think it's ever been a best stock now. How is Microsoft faring since their earnings? It's down 71 cents, but it's a dud. The growth is not there anymore. And I hate Windows. I absolutely hate Windows. How many times a day does your Internet Explorer crash? It's just a terrible product. It really is. Trying to find my desktop with all those new icons they have, I hate it. What else? Abbott Labs, they beat by a little bit. Coca-Cola beat by 3 cents. Warren Buffett's got to be happy there. He drinks Diet Coke all day, eats these chocolates, some of his brands, Berkshire Hathaway. Boeing beats by 25 cents. Boeing up just a little bit. St. Jude beats by 3 cents. So what's the overall drift so far? Well, as I said yesterday, I haven't seen anything yet that's going to significantly take earnings expectations for this year lower. And I haven't seen anything yet that's going to take earnings estimates for next year lower. I publish those numbers every single week. And I've been saying all year long that we're looking for a very small increase in earnings this year versus last year as it relates to those 500 companies that make up the S&P 500. And that's why the market is fairly flat so far this year. But I've also said that I see pretty good growth coming back into the market the second half of this year, which is now underway, and in 2016. And I haven't seen anything yet, although I'll be updating my numbers. Maybe I'll get a surprise when I update the numbers. I go through those 500 S&P 500 stocks and I update them one at a time. And then I let you know where my earnings estimates are at for the rest of this year. But more importantly, for next year. And it should be noted that stocks and indexes trade on expectations. The proof in the pudding is Apple beat earnings. You say, well, then Apple should be up. But they lowered the expectations in the coming quarters, and that's why it's down. Stocks trade on future expectations. And as long as those expectations are good, they're going to continue to behave in a good manner. But when those things are lowered, expectations, that is, the stocks are going to follow. Now, every day I go through my database. I'm at the top of the database. Today I'm going to go through it backwards. We're going to work Z through A. Some days I'm feeling a little dyslexic, so I understand it better going backwards. I do that with books sometimes. I start at the back and go to the front. But anyways, we're going to start with Zoomies today, actually ZX. ZX is China Xenex Auto, an 84-cent stock, but it's in my database. And we'll finally finish up later today with Alcoa, sometimes right before the market closes. Alcoa is one of the worst charts in the entire market, by the way. We're going to go through everything in between, about 4,000. And I'm going to stop on the ones, like I get to ZSPH here, and it's the number one ranked stock in my database right now. Oh, that's a good looking chart. And it is one I own in my speculative trading account. But we're going to go through, and we're going to stop and look at all the charts of the top 300 stocks and the ones that I own. And if I see something I like or I don't like, I'll send out a tweet. Maybe I send out 3, 4, 5 a day at Bill Gunderson. But more importantly, I'm going to look at the stocks that I own. And you know, you kind of get to know them after a while. They're like your patients. It's like a doctor visiting his patients. And he can tell when one's not doing too well. And as I look through them, I make any action that I think is necessary. I sold one yesterday because I felt like it was just beginning to roll over. Now, in the second quarter of the show, when we come back from a quick break, I'm going to talk about what I saw in Apple, in Skyworks, in NXPI that I did not like that caused me to sell those stocks last week. This is Bill Gunderson. It's the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour.
KCAA.
Is your IRA being managed by a robot? Does a nameless, faceless computer program make automatic decisions about what to do with your hard-earned money? Perhaps your employer conveniently invested your retirement with a supercomputer mega big box warehouse brokerage firm, and now you're simply thought of as just another number in a vast sea of millions. This is Rob Sanford for Gunderson Capital Management, and I'm here to testify that Bill Gunderson is no robot. I've seen him. Bill is in the office every single day from bell to bell, personally and actively managing the accounts of every single client. He never leaves the helm or turns over the wheelhouse to some junior trainee or office deckhand. He's the skipper. His decisions are thorough, well thought out, researched, and conducted with great care. So give Gunderson Capital Management a call at 855-611-BEST. If you're driving right now and can't write it down, just search Bill Gunderson on the web when you get home. So say goodbye to the robot and shake hands with Bill Gunderson today.
What are the leading asset classes in the market right now? Stocks, bonds, cash, gold?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
What are the leading indexes in the world currently? U.S., Europe, Japan, South America, emerging markets?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
What are the best sectors in the market now? Energy, technology, retail, financials, healthcare?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
What are the best stocks in the market now from a valuation, relative performance, and technical perspective? Exxon, Celgene, Apple, Delta, just to name a few.
BestStocksNowApp.com.
The Best Stocks Now app database currently has over 4,000 stocks, indexes, exchange-traded funds, and mutual funds to choose from. What are the best ones now?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
The Best Stocks Now app was invented by Bill Gunderson and Douglas Apperly. Bill Gunderson is the president of Gunderson Capital Management. In addition to the PC version, the Best Stocks Now app is also available on Apple and Android platforms.
BestStocksNowApp.com. Bill Gunderson's Best Stocks Now newsletter gave a buy signal on the market on March 27, 2009. That was just 18 days after the S&P 500 had finally hit bottom at 666. The buy signal has been in place ever since. How valuable was that call in the weekly newsletter to investors? The market has more than doubled since then. While market pundits were clamoring about a collapsing dollar, runaway inflation, and soaring gold prices, Bill Gunderson's Best Stocks Now newsletter told investors that stocks were the best place to be. Bill Gunderson is not a permabull, however. At some point in the future, the newsletter will give a sell signal. Investors, be warned. The last bear market took 53% out of the S&P 500. Why not sign up for a free 4-week trial to Bill Gunderson's Best Stocks Now newsletter? You can do so by visiting his website at pwstreet.com. Again, that's pwstreet.com. There are a lot of investors out there in today's world that enjoy managing their own money. There's nothing wrong with this, but maybe you should manage a small portion of your overall portfolio and let a professional money manager manage your serious money. Just like you don't learn how to be an accomplished golfer by spending a few hours on the golf course or at the driving range on the weekends, it takes years of experience to even begin to understand how the financial markets work. And even then, it still takes hours and hours every day to stay on top of an ever-changing marketplace. There are numerous pitfalls that can stand in the way of the part-time investor. If a constant barrage of contradictory opinions keeps you from being able to make sound decisions, if you have a hard time keeping your emotions in check, or if you're continually selling at the bottom and buying at the top, then maybe it's time to consider a full-time professional money manager. Give the folks at Gunderson Capital Management a call and let Bill Gunderson manage your money. You can reach them at 855-611-BEST. That's 855-611-BEST or pwstreet.com.
This is KCAA.
And welcome back here to the second quarter of the Best Stocks Now radio hour. I'll tell you a little story about horses first, and then I'll tell you a little story about stock charts. Oh, come on, Gunderson. What do horses have to do with stock charts? Well, I have a friend who was one of the top trainers in America, even though he ran his horses down in Tijuana at Agua Caliente back in the day. It was only open on Saturdays and Sundays, Agua Caliente was. And my dad used to take me down quite a bit down there, and I had a little spreadsheet back then in my head that predicted final times and whatnot. I've always been a number cruncher. But there was a trainer named Juan Garcia. The guy was just unbelievable. Anything he ran, you pretty much had to take into account. And just with that little track running 2 days a week, he was one of the leading trainers by wins in America, in North America. And I've become friends with Juan Garcia and his son over the years. The guy's a legend. But my point is he's looked at thousands of ankles, knees, every part of a horse's anatomy over the years, and he can tell you almost immediately what's wrong with the horse. And they go back to Keeneland every year, and they bring back, he's got a big client, and they bring back some yearlings, and they've got some really good horses in their barn this year. And they, just by looking at them and their conformation and their bloodlines and everything. But he's looked at thousands of legs, times 4, of course. And he can reach down and feel a horse's ankle and tell you exactly what's wrong with it. Not that he's a vet or anything, not that he's got a PhD in veterinary medicine. It's just experience of looking at these horses. Well, I look at hundreds and hundreds of stock charts every single day. And let's just go back to the basics. At any given time, a stock is in a sideways trend. That's one. Can't make much money in a sideways trend. Sometimes I own stocks that they've been going up and all of a sudden they enter into a sideways trend. You can't lose any money in a sideways trend either. What you're really waiting for from that sideways trend is for a stock to break out to the upside, which the NASDAQ is doing right now, or for the stock or the index to break down. I call that a rollover. That's the most ominous chart of all. A stock that's been going up, up, up. All of a sudden it tops out, like getting to the top of the mountain, staying there for a while, being on a plateau, going sideways, then all of a sudden starting to roll over. And I take particular note when I see the beginning of a rollover, because that could signal the beginning of a big downtrend. I remember when Apple was 710 or something before it split, and I saw it start to roll over. I sold it at around 650, and before I knew it, it was down to 350. The trouble first started to show up in the stock chart. Now, I'm not saying that Apple is now in a downtrend, but last week, as I was going through my daily routine and looking at stock charts, there's been several that have been going sideways lately. In fact, as I look at Apple, Apple has been in a sideways trend since it peaked back in early February when it hit $134 per share. And I'm telling you, it's just been going sideways ever since. In fact, today it's at, 124. So it's just done nothing for the last several months. And a couple of weeks ago, or I think it was 2 weeks ago, or maybe it was early last week, I looked at the Apple chart and I said to myself, that has the early look of a rollover, starting to roll over. And I think to myself, is Apple a home run stock anymore? Stocks go through different phases of their life cycle. Microsoft is not only not a home run stock anymore, it's barely a stock that can hit singles anymore or doubles anymore. Apple's still a great company and they still make great products, but do they have any more grand slams, home runs left in the tank? Maybe they do. I don't know. It's a $718 billion company now. I never thought the watch was a big thing. Seems like a novelty to me. I see people with their watch and they show it off to me, and I say to myself, why do I need that? I have an iPad. I don't know why I hardly ever use my iPad now that my phone is almost as big as the iPad. Well, I don't really like the station that Apple is in life right now, which makes me a little wary. I haven't made any money in my Apple holding for the last 6 months or so, although I've made a lot of money in it in the past. And then it started to roll over a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And I took precautionary action. I sold it. And then I looked at its suppliers, Skyworks. Skyworks has been going sideways since early March. Skyworks was one of the biggest winners I've ever found in the market. You can look at my book, Best Stocks Now, and go back to 2011 when I wrote the book. Skyworks was a $13 stock. Today it's a $100 stock. It's been as high as $112. I've doubled my money in Skyworks a couple of times. And Skyworks started to go sideways. It entered into that sideways trend. I just look at one-year charts. It's like looking at lots of horses' ankles over the years. Well, I've looked at lots of one-year charts over the years. Thousands, tens of thousands. And I just didn't like the look of Skyworks. It had that look of a potential rollover. And I bailed out before it started to roll over any worse. Now, it hasn't rolled over. It's still really in a sideways trend, but it really had the look of a rollover about 2 weeks ago. The best word that I can attach to a rollover is ominous. That's an ominous chart. That could be the beginning of a big downtrend. Look at the last time Apple sold off. It went from 720 all the way down to 350. It lost half of its value. And if you could have gotten out at the beginning of that rollover, you saved yourself a lot of grief on the downside. Now, here's another problem that people have with stocks, in my opinion. They get married to them and they fall in love with them. Oh, but it's Apple. Like it's a sacred cow. We can't sell a sacred cow. We're in love with this stock. I buy every product that they come out with, they say. And it's the king of the world, and it's just going to keep coming out with home runs and grand slams. You know what? I don't think you can get attached. I know you can't. You just cannot get attached to any stock because stocks have life cycles. And when they're in their prime, you want to own them. And when then they're uptrends, you want to own them. And when things start to fall apart, you don't want to own them. And I went on CNBC back then during the last Apple drop, and I said Apple is dead money until finally, and it will at some point in time, hit bottom, start to go sideways, and then break out to the upside, which it eventually did. But I said until then, it's dead money. And I don't want to be invested. I don't want my money being dead money. And I think Apple, Skyworks, NXPI, the whole bunch of them are dead money. Once again, this is Bill Gunderson. It's the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour. We'll be right back.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The St. Louis suburb of Ferguson getting a new interim police chief as the anniversary of the killing of black 18-year-old Michael Brown.
KCAA, where every day is a great day.
California headline news. A senior citizen from Nevada County confirmed as the first death in California this year due to West Nile virus.
Last year we had a record-breaking year with over 800 cases of West Nile. Once again this year we're seeing widespread activity.
In fact, California Department of Public Health Dr. Vicki Kramer says West Nile virus is endemic to California and is found in all of the counties in our state. Governor Jerry Brown says local leaders need to use their power to combat climate change. Speaking at a summit at the Vatican yesterday, he urged the group of mayors and other world leaders to join together to follow our state's example, rejecting the propaganda and recognizing the problem.
There are ways that we can not mock creation or the laws of nature, but live within them.
Brown says that the other leaders signed a declaration that says climate change is a scientific reality. Geico weather, seasonal temperatures, rain possible in the Northeast. I'm John Gilliland, California Headline News.
What's that sound you're hearing, California? That's the sound of cutting up an overpriced insurance policy. When you switch and save on your car insurance with Geico.
Bring on the shredder.
Yep, California. That's the sound of savings. And shredding, but mostly savings.
For a free rate quote, visit geico.com and see how much you could save. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And now, a touching moment. Well, staying in touch with Geico.
Just the other night, as I gazed up into the sky, I saw a shooting star. In that moment, I made a wish that Geico would be available 24/7, by phone, on the web, or with the Geico app. After that, I realized my wish had already come true. So basically, I had just wasted a perfectly good wish. Then I started to think about dolphins and felt better right away.
Geico. Anywhere, anytime.
Art Bell is back, and he's coming to KCAA.
There are a lot of people who think that we are Martians, that there's a strong possibility that we are Martians. That's why I said us. No, I'm serious. There